Hello and welcome to Metal Vice, a podcast where we talk about all things music.
Well, the things we care about.
That right? Yeah.
That right?
that right. That's right. Which is primarily metal music and live music. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, joined with your other host,
Karen.
Karen, what is this episode going to be all about?
We're going to talk about Bad Omens at the Salt Shed.
Yeah, we'll a little bit.
Okay, we'll talk about the Salt Shed.
Yeah, mainly it's going to be about the Salt Shed, I think. But this is the Bad Omens, or not the Bad Omens. This is Bad Omens, like you said, with ERRA and Icy Stars.
Icy Stars. Yeah.
Icy Stars. This is part of the Concrete Forever.
Yeah.
Concrete Forever tour. As you said, here at the Salt Shed in Chicago. We paid $38 for tickets, with $10.60 in fees and $4.86 in tax.
Yep. And it has been a little bit since we saw this show.
It has been. We saw, so this is Monday.
Yeah. And we saw this
the Monday after. We saw this Wednesday before.
Thursday before. September 21st.
Yes, September 21st. And it's the 25th. So not that long.
Oh, not that bad.
4 days.
We've just had a lot happen between these 4 days.
We did, yes. Yeah. Salt Shed. Our first time being here at this venue. It's a new venue here in Chicago, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've been kind of eagerly anticipating going to this venue.
I think it opened last year, if I remember right. So it's the old Morton Salt Factory thing.
Yeah, so if you're driving on the interstate, I don't know what direction. If you're going north, but I don't know what interstate it is. It's
94.
94? Okay.
Yeah.
You can see it.
I think.
If you're driving north, you can see it on your right. If you're driving south into the city, you can see it on your left. But it's the white building with the girl in the yellow raincoat with the umbrella.
Yeah,
like the Morton's logo.
The Morton logo, and it does say Morton Salt.
Yeah.
On the roof.
So it's cool they kept that. They kept the name too, the Salt Shed.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So that really played into the aesthetics of the venue too, I think. Because it's just an old warehouse in like this old sort of industrial district area. Yeah. Right on the river. So yeah, kind of a really cool spot in terms of like location wise. My only complaint going into this, even before we got there, just because getting there took a long time and there wasn't very convenient outside of like an Uber driving.
Right. Yeah. We're transit people. So we like things that are close to transit, and it wasn't that convenient. I mean, we personally took the red line to North and Clybourne. Yep. And then we walked the remainder of the way because there was a bus, but we beat the bus.
We did because traffic was so bad. This show started.
This is 7.
I think that's about right. Yeah. Yeah, that is right. We'll get into the timing and whatnot here in a little bit, but that's rush hour. Like we were heading up that way around 5-ish. Yeah. And that's rush hour. Yeah. A lot of cars, a lot of traffic. So getting the red line, not that hard. We got off the red line, as you said, at North and Clybourne. There's that little Apple store right there that you get off at. Yep. And across the street was the bus. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh shit, we can hurry up and get on the bus. That will take us like almost all the way there. So I guess it's actually not that bad for public transit.
It isn't, except for the timing.
The timing was bad because
buses just suck during rush hour.
Yeah, because they can't go that fast. You're stop and go traffic constantly. And as you said, we walked and we beat the bus by a lot.
Yeah, we didn't even see it when we ended up, because so you basically walk on North Avenue. Yep. West until you get to Elston, and then you turn south. Yep. And it's 2 blocks maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, not the most convenient. It's not like there's not I don't know. It wasn't the greatest in terms of getting there via public transit.
There is a parking lot though.
There's a parking lot. But I said it's not the most convenient, but we just said, like, actually, it's not that bad with the bus right there, too, if you happen to get it.
Yeah. It's just the traffic on North Avenue sucks.
Yeah, it does.
So,
but anywho, that was, like, my only complaint going after leaving this, and even before getting there, just that commute up there to it. Something like the Aragon, it's just, like, right off the red line. So super easy to get to. Same with, like, House of Blues and stuff like that.
Yeah, right downtown. Yeah. Yeah. Most venues that we go to are pretty easy to get to off of transit.
Yep. So, anywho, we showed up about 5:30 or so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because we got an email before saying the fairgrounds open at 5, doors open at 6,
yes,
show at 7.
Yes.
And we were both like, what the fuck is the fairgrounds?
Right.
What is this?
Because we've never been there, and I haven't really even done much research on it at all, or like looked up anything. So I know they have done a couple outdoor things like fairs and festivals and stuff.
You said that, and I didn't know that. There was like a pizza, like they have Pizza Fest, like a beer fest, but for pizza, you go and you get different pizzas and shit.
And there was like
kind of weird but fun also, I think.
Yeah, there was like not an art fest. I guess kind of like an art fest, like where people make things and sell them.
Oh, like a craft fair.
A craft fair, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about those things. I did know about the Pizza Fest and whatnot, but otherwise I knew it was a concert venue. I didn't know there was an outdoor stage. You said you knew that, and I was like, all right.
I've just seen photos last summer because I think they actually had outdoor concerts before they even got the building done.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
In any case, we showed up. We wanted to go check out these fairgrounds, they said.
Yeah.
And we show up, and there's already like this massive line out around the block.
Right.
And we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I thought the fairgrounds were open. Is this the line to get in? They don't open the fairgrounds? What the fuck's going on here? So there was a food truck down the way. We're like, let's just walk over to the food truck and see what they have for food. Just check it out.
Yeah. Well, we hadn't eaten yet either because we were like, oh, if it's a fairgrounds. So I guess I was kind of relating it to the rave, how they have like their outdoor parking lot. I don't know what they call that.
That is a parking lot or used to be. And it turned into like just an outdoor area.
Like a patio type thing. So for some shows, they've had beer and then food trucks come. So in my mind, I was like, oh, maybe that's what they're going to have. So let's not stop and get food. Let's check this out, sort of thing.
Yeah, and honestly, my intent for walking down there, I didn't tell you this, wasn't to get food or anything. It was
to peek in,
to scoot by everybody in the line without making it look obvious, like, what are you doing? And without asking people what's going on.
Oh.
To then walk up there, because it did sort of go down and wrap around the building before you got to the food truck. And that's when we got close to the food truck and saw the line wrap around that, no, there was this open area that nobody was in. And there's like a bunch of tables, like a long, what do they call them? Container. Like a container truck back, like a semi truck, right?
Yeah.
On the ground that they had converted into like a concession stand almost.
Yeah. There was like 3 spots or something.
Yeah. 1 for food, 2 for alcohol, and then 1 food truck there as well.
Yes.
Selling empanadas.
Yep.
And so we went into there and we just sort of hung out and we're the only ones there. And this line is just going around like, we'll fucking sit here and have a few beers and wait for this line to die down. There's no reason to stand there when we don't care about being in front.
Right. Especially when the line is that long, you're not getting rail. You're not getting the front row. So it's like, why stand in line when you can have a beer or 2? I think you had 2. But, like when you could just sit and relax and wait for the line to die down.
So we sat there. It was really cool. There was a high school doing a rowing class. Rowing classes, like rowing teams. I think they're called crews. I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Because the guy running the empanada truck was saying his girlfriend's brother is in crew and was in the boat. And that's why he wasn't always in the truck. He'd pop out to take videos
to watch
and
them.
Cheer him on and whatnot and try to embarrass him, basically.
Yeah, probably.
I thought that was really cool. Seeing the rowers go up and down was really cool to hang out and watch that. Great views of the city and everything. Like, it was just a really, really cool spot. And looking past the line, there's like little shops as well in this salt shed.
Yeah.
And like, well, all right, I don't know what the fuck that is, but whatever. And we sat there, had a couple drinks, like we said. They eventually opened the doors at 6, so we weren't there that long, like half an hour or so. Opened the doors at 6, crowd starts going in. And the next thing I know, it starts to fill up out where we are, finishing our beer and whatnot. And it's like, where the fuck are these people? Are they doing the same thing we're doing? Then like soon I noticed people coming out of the door after going through security, then getting beers and food and hanging out down there. Then I saw people go in and out, in and out. And I was like, oh shit, maybe once you're in, you can come out of the venue as long as you're in like the fairground area.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
It is really cool.
When venues do that.
I really like when venues do that because, I mean, like we just mentioned the rave. I feel like we relate everything back to the rave. But like they let the, you can do that where you can go out into that little patio area and then come back in.
Radius too. They have that little area that people use for smoking and whatnot. So it's great for smokers. We're not smokers, so we don't like.
But it's good to get fresh air and stuff too. Yeah. I think that, well, except for the one at the rave or the Radius, because it's all smoking. But I mean, if you are really hot or you just need to like get away from the crowd for a second, just go outside.
Yeah, it's really cool. I did, when we were sitting there, notice there's like what looked like a roof deck because I saw like plants and shit up there, and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to go up there. I don't know how to get there, but whatever. But eventually the line died down. We went into the venue. Went through security. I don't remember any. Pretty quick and standard now. We just go through and whatnot. I don't remember if we got wanded down or whatnot, but no problems getting through security at all.
Oh no, they had the ones that like
scan you.
They scan, but then they did have one. So I'm guessing like if you beeped, then they like check to see if you took belt or whatever it is.
Yeah, but then like once you're in the salt shed, it's like this really old wooden floor, really old looking sort of vibe to it. Yep. Off to one corner, there's salt shed merchandise. You can buy an umbrella, a raincoat, field note, like the little notebooks.
Oh, is that what you're saying? Like the raincoat and the umbrella? Because the girl? Oh, yeah. I thought you were meaning like, oh, if it starts raining, we can buy an umbrella.
No, it's like, oh, they're utilizing
I just got that. Yeah. I just got that. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
And then off to the other side, they have, I can't remember the name of
the guitar.
Strings? Like frets? Something.
Frets or strings?
I think it might be frets. But this little like music themed store that had clothing and other knickknacks and whatnot you can get, as well as guitar strings and guitars and amps, old amps and whatnot. A really cool spot for sure.
Fret 12 is what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like this really cool spot inside the music venue, and I was like, that's kind of sweet.
It was really cool, and that's the shop that. Sorry, when I was looking at that, you might have said this, but it was the shop that you saw the doors from the outside.
I didn't say that, but yeah, that's the one that goes into the outside.
So I'm assuming when the venue's not having a concert, you can just go in and shop.
Yeah, and like I said, they had the guitars and amps, so you can go there and play. They have the pedals that you can go up there and putz around.
They had a really cool guitar that I really liked, but I didn't even reach up to try to see how much it was because it was probably way more than.
I think it was, yeah.
What I need to spend on a guitar just to hang on my wall.
Yeah. Merch was over there as well. Another bar up there too.
Yeah, there's some murals on the side of the wall and stuff.
And then you kind of go down into like the main floor area, or behind the main floor. But you this is like a lobby almost, and then you go down the stairs into like the main area. Mm-hmm. A large bar in the back of the main area. Your bathrooms are back there, and then you pointed out water fountains.
Yes, free water.
And
cups.
Yes, so I was going to say, not only was it water fountains where you can go get a drink if you want, which that would have been perfectly fine for me. Every venue should have a water fountain, I think.
Yeah.
And this is a newer venue, so that's awesome. But they're also the newer water fountains where they have like the refill your water bottle type station thing where you just put it up and it senses it and it fills up. And then there's like a little ticker to say, here's how many bottles of water you saved by doing this. But next to that, they had a table of just empty cups. I don't need the empty cups. I think you said you can take your beer cup and refill that.
Yeah. Instead of wasting, my whole thing was like, instead of wasting cups.
But then you have to buy the beer. But if somebody who's not drinking, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I'm perfectly fine with not doing that and just having a drinking fountain. I can easily just bend over, have a drink out of a drinking fountain.
Or if you have at least a drinking fountain in your venue, then you could use that beer cup.
That's what I was saying. Yes, you could use that in the drinking fountain. But it was awesome to see a venue have a drinking fountain, a free water source that you don't have to pay for water.
Yeah. I mean, you could get Liquid Death also.
You could, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we talk about this all the time where we feel like that water should just be free.
Right.
You shouldn't have to pay $5 for.
If you want the sparkling water or the flavored waters that are popular right now, pay for those.
Or like the Liquid Deaths or whatever.
Yeah. Pay for that. But having a free drinking source is fucking awesome, especially at festivals for sure. 100%. Every festival should be required by law, I think.
That's not a hose.
Yes, that's not a hose.
We've been to a couple where it's just like a hose.
Or, I don't know. I saw that and was like, I fucking love this place already.
Yeah. I liked it. I mean,
by this point, we hadn't even seen the stage. We hadn't even seen the makeup of like the rest of the floor or anything. We're like, all right, I love this place already.
Yeah.
But we did wrap around because that's basically behind. So there's a giant wall, and this is where your stadium seating is, behind the center stage. So we're basically, if we had turned around, that wall wasn't there, you'd be staring right at the stage.
Right.
But that wall was there to support the like the stadium type seating that goes up for people who had bought seats to view down.
Yep.
Then you had your main floor in front of that.
Which is very large.
Yes, very large.
Yeah.
And then off to the sides of those, you have sort of like balconies that overlook as well.
Yes. Yep. Which I think were the premium or VIP. I think they call them premium.
Okay.
But like the VIP, those ones that are along the side, at least the sign I saw said premium. So.
Okay. Oh, that's right. They did have like a little entry that said premium seating or something, balcony or whatever. And the seats at center stage looking onto center stage were, I think, assigned seating as well.
I think so, yeah.
But also there were stairs going up, and there were GA viewing areas on the up there too. Yep. And there were 3 levels. There was the main level on the floor. The next level up, there was like a little patio thing that you could look at. There were assigned seats there too. You had like you couldn't go, but there was like a little rope to tell you where you could and couldn't go. And then above that, there was like the top GA area that just looked down on everything. I think most of that was GA. There was couches on the side that toward the back.
Couches,
I think,
were like lounge couches and tables. Yeah. I think that was all GA.
I think the ones in the back were not. I think those were assigned, but the ones toward the front were, because I asked the lady who was up there, and she said, "From this point forward is GA, or this point forward is reserved."
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Okay, I thought that any of those couches you could sit at.
And I don't know. What she told me is some of them you could, some of them you couldn't.
Okay.
Also on that second level, we didn't talk about that. There's more restrooms. There's another bar.
There's a bar
back there, and then eventually we found this like little seating area. Not seating, but like high top chair.
Yeah.
Did they have chairs?
Yeah. Well, they were like stools.
Like bar stools.
Yeah,
bar stools and bar tables were like the high tops and whatnot.
Yeah.
A bunch of those. Then TVs as well, broadcasting what was going on stage. And we also behind that, next to the bar, was a door out to that patio I mentioned earlier. That we ended up spending a lot of time out there.
We did.
Once
we went outside, I didn't want to go back in.
It was a beautiful night. There were tables and chairs out there too, right?
Yeah, and lounging
as well as the bar ones.
Yeah.
And an amazing view of the city at night.
Yes.
You're out looking from the west to the east, and it's not a view you see often when you think of like the Chicago skyline. Normally it's like the south, or it's from the lake in.
Yeah, like if you see a picture of it or whatever. Yeah. I was going to say, I think most people who live in Chicago see the west view more than people see the east view.
Yeah, because people don't live on the water, so.
Well, yeah, and the population on the east side of downtown is less than.
Yeah, but whatever.
West.
Yeah.
For us, we don't see that view very often, from pictures. From pictures, you don't see it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going at.
Oh, okay. I think you meant like people don't see this often.
People, as in,
I get what you're saying now.
Yeah. All in all, this venue was fucking phenomenal. It was so awesome. It was a great venue. I loved it so much.
I can't wait for them to have a metal festival there.
Or just metal shows. They really don't have many metal shows out there.
I think they've done like 2.
And this was
it opened?
metalcore, so like it's fringe metal, I guess.
Yeah. We if they first opened, I think it was last summer, if I'm right, when they first started doing concerts. And up in Lakeview, there was on a construction site. I don't even know what it is, but they like put the paper up that show like advertisements.
Like posters, like
the huge posters. Yeah.
The not flimsy, but like the paper posters that they like throw on real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So like they had one of those on one of those construction sites, and I was so excited, and I started looking through, and I was like, there's absolutely no metal bands on here. And I was kind of disappointed because I'm like, I want to go to that venue so bad.
Yeah, it's a lot of EDM and like indie and alternate rock kind of stuff that's out there, unfortunately. Yeah. I would like to see more metal out there for sure.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that's mainly the metal, or mainly the music we listen to is metal. So we do go to a few other shows that, we'll go check out, but mainly metal. And they don't have much out there.
Not yet, which the venue is really, really good for a metal show. Like the
it's
floors,
good for all shows.
All shows, yeah. But sorry, what I was going to say with like a metal show is like it has a very large floor, so you can do pits. You could have, like where like say House of Blues, you can have a pit at House of Blues because almost every show does, but it's very, very tight and cramped. And
the floor is big. It's very big floor, and not many obstacles or obstructions. Well, like you were saying, House of Blues, where your floor is very small, and then behind that, it's very. There's a lot of obstacles in terms of barriers and poles and seating and whatnot.
Yeah, which would be the same. Like Concord has the pillars.
It does, yeah.
Riviera has this staggered steps.
Same with the Vic. The
Vic.
The Radius is pretty big.
The Radius is really good. This Radius and this are very comparable, I think. Yeah. Which they do also have a lot of comparable shows as well.
Yeah.
Or competitive shows, I should say. I think because the Radius has metal shows.
The Radius plays a lot more metal shows for sure than the Salt Shed does.
But it's still not the main thing that they do.
No, I think I wouldn't say it's the main or not the main. I would say I think the Radius has a much better mix of music than the Salt Shed
That's
does.
A good way. That's a good way to put it. And then you have your older venues like Aragon that has the big open floor as well.
Yep.
Just it's old.
But I see what you're saying in terms of like floor setup is much better here than it is like the Riviera or the House of Blues, for instance.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Now those are in size a little bit different. I don't know what this holds, but I would say this holds more than those two for sure. Yeah. This might be more comparable to Aragon almost, I would say, in terms of audience size.
Probably. Maybe even more than Aragon. Or do you think not?
I don't think so. I think Aragon might have a little bit more on it, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, honestly. We haven't looked up the numbers or anything on those.
I don't know.
But
anyway, we did say that this was going to be mostly about the Salt Shed.
We did. And so let's get into the music then, and maybe that will come self-explanatory, or maybe people already know, but not the greatest in terms of music. At least I did not enjoy this.
You didn't enjoy it. Yeah.
You enjoyed Bad Omens a lot, and that was really about it, I think. Maybe ERRA. I don't know, but we'll get into that when we get into it.
Yeah.
It starts with Sea Stars. Oh, not
I See Stars.
High Sea Stars. It is I See Stars. So tell us what the set list for this was.
Yes. So they started with Murder Mitten, Drift, 10,000 Feet, Anomaly, Break, Yellow King, Are We Even, Calm Snow, and then they ended with Running with Slizzers.
What were your thoughts when it first started?
I didn't really know what I thought, but a lot of the songs had potential for me to enjoy them.
Okay.
In a way. But then there is a lot of like electronic aspect or like backing track aspect or...
Yeah, so you said you looked this style up. It's a...
electronic core.
So it's like metalcore meets EDM, basically.
Yeah.
I did pick up the DJ right away when they started.
Yeah.
And that was fine. I have no problems with bands having DJs. Like Slipknot has one. Rammstein has one.
Yeah.
Like you can incorporate a DJ into your music and it can be extremely well and done extremely well. Those two previous examples, as those two previous bands as examples of bands who are doing it extremely well. This band, I think, is one that's doing it extremely poorly. I fucking hated this so much.
Because of the electronic or the aspect of the backing track and
yes,
they weren't really playing.
There were parts where the two guitarists or guitar and bass or whatever the fuck they were doing weren't touching their instruments.
Yeah.
They were just on stage like pumping up the crowd, like hype men basically, right?
Yeah.
And yet there's riffs coming out of somewhere and it's like, what are you doing up there? Are you just here as like a prop? Are you fucking doing shit? Like I hated that. And it took me out of the music so much to be like,
then you couldn't think about anything else.
This isn't real. Like it's real for sure. Like you made that music that's on the backing track, but I go to a live show to see the show, to see you play the music, not to see it played and you just dance around.
Yeah.
with the exception of an EDM show. I do go to those.
But that's that style of music.
And that's what I go in expecting. I was not going in expecting that here. I guess is what I was trying to get to. It's like,
but I guess since it's electronic, I keep trying to say electronic metalcore, but electronic core, it kind of makes sense to do that. But also in my mind, it's like, okay, well then do more EDM type and don't have the guitar and bass on the stage.
Or whatever. I don't know if it was 2 guitars or bass and a guitar.
We were very far back.
Yeah.
So. But
I mean, Dance with the Dead does this so much better than these guys
so
do.
Much better,
where it's the 2 guys, both as DJs, but they take turns doing the guitar solos. And they're doing the guitar solos, and it's fucking awesome. I loved that set so much when we saw them. And like, you could do something like that, but like, maybe there were moments where they're up there actually doing a guitar solo, or playing the guitar in general. But I couldn't pick that up. It pulled me away from the music, and it made me angry and like, fuck this. This is lame.
Like, one thing we didn't really mention was the stage isn't super high, which is why I love like the Radius and Aragon, because the stage is high. So like, no matter where you are, you can pretty much see what's going on. This one's high, but it's not like that extra level high, if that makes sense. So I didn't really notice like the guitars, because I couldn't see that much. And also, but like, so when the music started, like I really found that my whole thing on if I'm gonna like a song is the drums and the bass. I don't really care about guitar solos. I don't care. And then lyrics. I like lyrics, which when you're seeing a band for the first time, it's kind of hard to pick up the lyrics sometimes. But those are the 2 things that I liked. So that's why I'm saying like the songs had potential. But then when you brought into like, I don't think they're actually playing, that's when I was like, oh, so the part that I like could be as the DJ, not... them actually playing these parts. Yeah. I mean, playing them live, I should say.
Yeah. And like, there were moments in the songs where it's like, oh, yeah, that's really good. I like that. Yeah. I don't know what song it was, but there's one song that had like a heavy EDM influence to it. And I really enjoyed that bit in that middle of the song where it was like very, very EDM focused. And I'm like, again, I'm fine incorporating that into your act. But then when your guitarists are up there just like not doing shit, basically, and you're still having guitar riffs coming out, like, what the fuck? It pulls me away.
Even at the end of their set, when they like are like, oh, thank you, like, we're done, sort of thing. Like, there was still guitar riffs, there was still drums, there was still bass parts.
Like the music was still like the end of the song hadn't finished yet, and they're saying goodbye as the song is coming to the end. Yeah. I remember that too.
And like the music's still being played, but it's all
right. It's like the last 30 seconds of the song, and they're like, peace out, we're gone.
Yeah.
And again, another band that does this really, really well, 68, where it's just the 2-piece band.
Yeah.
And you have your guitar player up there, he plays a riff, and he like kicks his pedal to like record that and then repeat it. And it's that one riff that's just repeating. And then the drummer's out there just fucking going bonkers on the drum. And it's an awesome way to like pick up your set when you're especially a young band and you have to like pick your shit up. And
I think it's also just part of their...
It's a good showmanship too. Yeah. But the drummer's going away and he'll go over here and hit like a hi-hat, and the guitar player will take that and run it off stage. And now the drummer has less pieces of his kit to play with. Comes out there, does something again, boom, takes that piece. Comes out there, eventually it's just the bass drum that he's like pedaling, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's fucking awesome. Like that, again, using the effect of, and maybe they did that here, record the like the DJs back there, record this and just put it on repeat. That could be what's going on right there. But again, up to that point where I'm already frustrated with they're not doing shit, and then it just ends with them walking off and their music still playing. I'm like, fuck this. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
I only have one more positive thing to say, or I guess one.
The only positive.
Before moving on.
No, you like the EDM bit. So this is your second positive.
Do you have anything else before we go into that, I guess?
No, it's fine.
All right. The one other thing that I really, really enjoyed about this that made me smile was we were center stage toward the back by the sound booth almost. And there's a part toward the end of the set where he's like, let's see your hands if you've never crowd surfed. And we're standing next to this family, a father, a son, and the mother. And the son, probably 10 or so.
Yeah, I would say probably.
Throws his hand up, and the mom throws her hand up too. And then he's like, now everybody else look around you. You see those hands? Get them in the fucking air and let's go. And as soon as he says that, like the mom reaches over to the son's hand and drops it. And I kind of like look over her and like, do you want to put him up and throw him over? And she's like, no. And then they gathered up and went like 5 steps in front. Like, no, let's get away from this weirdo.
This freak over here.
I just thought it was funny. It gave a really good memory of this set for sure. Something I'll always remember.
Yeah.
Just like Notre Dad. Like those interactions at Chemist with the parents and their daughter, and the interactions here with the young kid and their parents just like hanging out. I'll remember that. That was a lot of fun, and it made me smile for sure.
Yeah. A lot of people were really into Icy Stars as well, which is fun to see, because like when we're not into something, it's like, oh, okay.
We were respectful. We did hang back and just we were quiet, let other people enjoy the show. A lot of people were really into it, which is awesome. Great. It's not my thing, clearly, but other people love it. And by all means, don't fucking listen to me. Go find your own thing and your own music and own it. Fucking, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Like, I don't have to listen to their music again. I don't think I'm putting them on the playlist. So.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if you're going to put them on the playlist.
I don't think I will.
I'll probably skip them if they're on there.
Yeah, so we'll skip them then.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a fun set for me.
Yep.
And then we get into ERRA.
Yeah. And we saw ERRA before.
We did. And you weren't a fan going in. You went into this being like, I'm not going to enjoy ERRA. I didn't like them last time.
Right. So we saw them with Brand of Sacrifice, and We Came as Romans. Yeah, at the House of Blues. And it was a sold out show. And I just remember after Brand of Sacrifice got done and then ERRA went on, I was just like, I'm not into this at all.
I really wasn't then. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. It's that metalcore thing, though. I'm not really into metalcore like you are, so. Yeah,
I guess my whole thing is, not that I wasn't into it, but coming off of Brand of Sacrifice, that's very like heavy and the growls and everything to ERRA, I was just like, eh.
Yeah. But why don't you tell us what we had this night?
Yeah. So they started with Pale Iris, Divisionary, Gungrave, Pull from the Ghost, Scorpion Hymn, Nigh to Silence, Stockholm Syndrome, which is a Muse cover, Vanish Canvas, and they ended with Snowblood. And I don't remember their set the last time we saw them. It was
I don't either.
Similar?
Probably pretty close.
Or have you not had time to add everything to the playlist yet?
I haven't added this yet either.
I can look it up.
Probably would throw this in.
Yeah, it's almost the same. It's not the same. No, we got a few new songs in there, and then they copied some songs. I guess not copied, but played the same songs. So that's good. At least we heard some new things.
Yeah.
So
we went into this again like you weren't really super jazzed about seeing them again because you had that previous like impression of not really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And you had told me going in like, this venue's really cool. I want to explore. And this is when we did a lot of the exploring that we talked about in terms of like finding those different sections to watch.
Exactly. So, so after Icy Stars, and I told you, I was like, oh, during ERRA, let's walk around and go upstairs and like check out all the little areas. And that's when, and I don't even know, I think we listened to like 2 or 3 songs on the floor.
I think so. Probably about 2 songs or so, maybe 3. I don't know, but yeah.
And then we started walking around, which was fine. I was actually enjoying it a little. I mean, more than I did at House of Blues, but I think House of Blues was more just the crowd aspect where we didn't have a good spot to see them, and then we were like kind of stuck there.
Yeah, because we were definitely behind a pole, so I didn't see anything for their set at House of Blues.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I didn't see anything there this time around. Just sort of their name, I think, up on the backdrop sort of thing for a set. But we did spend a lot of time bouncing around area to area to check that out.
So we did, we went to the second floor, checked out that standing room, went to the third floor, checked that out for a while. That's when we went back down to the second floor and that little bar area. We were just going to sit and listen to the music at those like bar tables or with the stools. And that's when we saw the patio.
Right.
So we went out to the patio, which they didn't, you could hear the music a little bit through the open door, but they didn't have like speakers out there to
that was the one thing here is like, if you went out there, like I said, a beautiful night, areas to sit out and lounge around, amazing view of the city and everything. And it just would have been a very pleasant night to be out there. But yeah, the music was not being played at all.
Yeah.
I think they had speakers, so I don't know why it wasn't routed back out. You got a good view of the ground, so you can see where like an outside stage is typically set up if they have an outside, because they also have sort of the stadium seating up. There were some people down out in that little fairground area, I think, getting food and drinks. But yeah, the music wasn't there for that.
I think that they were piping the music down by the food.
Okay, because I heard it muffled a little bit.
Yeah, so I think they were having it through that speaker, but yeah, like they could have. Yeah, well, and also the other thing is like what is that called? Like the HVAC system or whatever is on the roof.
Oh yeah.
So that is really, really loud. So I'm wondering if like that wasn't there, if they built a wall or something there that would like kind of muffle that, then you could hear the music better. But we spent a lot of the time out there chatting, talking about the venue, kind of
just hanging out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole time was like basically like, this venue is really cool. Like, this is really cool. Like, if they had this kind of show here, it's really cool. Like, it was that whole thing. So.
Yeah. It did also remind me a little bit of the rave, because I went up to the top of the rave, the penthouse area, where the smokers typically go. And same thing, they had TVs up there when we went to see Volbeat, because it was crazy fucking hot.
Oh, yeah, it was.
But they had the TVs on, but no music being played up there. And it's like, if you just play the music also, this area is really cool. Same thing here. If you just play the music out there, we would have just hung out and lounged type thing.
Yeah. So, and then...
Don't even need a TV. Just pipe the music out there.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, I think probably during, like, Vanish Canvas or something. I don't know their songs, but we went back inside and I was like, oh, let's go back inside and watch the concert. But almost as soon as we got back in, it was like... Over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's our own fault, I guess. We probably heard like 4 or 5 songs of theirs. Like actually heard it like in the venue.
So we don't really have a good impression or good summary of
I have
their
nothing
set.
to say. The songs I heard I liked better than when we were at House of Blues. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, it sounded a lot heavier for sure than I remembered it being.
Yeah. Where House of Blues, I just remember like the backdrop, like there was a lot of computer, like what's that called, binary, like on the screen, and maybe they had that here. We weren't inside to see it,
and I don't remember seeing.
You don't remember that?
So because I couldn't see anything at House of Blues.
So I took ERRA as more. See, I See Stars was electronic, but I took ERRA as more of like mellow electronic music, or when we saw them the first time.
Yeah.
And this time I was like, I felt like it was a lot heavier. But again, coming off of Brand of Sacrifice and then going to ERRA, it is a lot mellower. So, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to listen to those two next to it. Like, go back and listen to that concert, because they're both on the playlist.
Yeah.
So, I remember not hating them, but not loving them at House of Blues. I remember the little bit we did hear here, I remember really, really enjoying.
Yeah.
But again, that could be I See Stars being so pissed off at that I was like, oh, this is actually
a little bit better.
A little better. I like this a lot more now.
Yeah.
So it maybe just goes to like who they're with, how you listen to it, type thing.
Yeah.
Because as you said, most of these tracks were in that previous set list at House of Blues with a few additions.
Yeah.
But all in all, cool venue.
Yeah, exactly. Go to the roof deck. It's cool.
And then we get to Bad Omens. Why don't you read off their set list as well?
Sure. They start with Artificial Suicide, Like a Villain, The Gray, Never Know, Glass Houses, What Do You Want From Me, Bad Decisions, Nowhere to Go, IDWTS, Broken Youth, Limits, Take Me First, The Death of Peace of Mind, Just Pretend, and their encore was Concrete Jungle and Death Throne.
So for Bad Omens, we were up at the very top GA little area.
Yes.
That's where we started. Now, when a band starts, typically before, like when the lights go down, the curtain goes on, sort of like the track for it's starting, like the backing track that will build up the energy for the curtain to drop and the band to come out and play. When that happens at almost every single show, I can't think of an example where this doesn't really happen. Everybody throws their phones up and starts recording.
Yeah.
And I don't record or take images right now because I'm not going to get a good clear shot. So I'll wait until everybody puts their fucking phones down. And then like, all right, now I can go and take my quick little video or my quick little photos.
Yeah, Spirit Box was really big with this. Like when we saw Spirit Box, it was like every single person had their phone up.
For the first like 5 tracks almost. It felt like it went on forever.
Yeah, it was way more than just like the first like part of it. Yeah.
Typically it's like the first minute or so of the first track, or maybe the first track and then it's down after that. And I hate that so fucking much. It pisses me off. It's so annoying. I just hate it. But I have to say, being up there that high up looking down on it was a really, really cool shot.
It's fun to see, yeah.
Because you just have a bunch of white screens. It looks like stars, like a bunch of little stars.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Same thing, similar concept to when a band will say, put your lighters up, turn your cell phone lights on, and if you look behind you, you see all the little speckles. It's kind of like that, but not as bright because the screens are typically dimmer or something. But I do remember seeing that and being like, all right, it's kind of cool from this far back.
Yeah, the view. So the third floor view is really cool down onto the floor. You're really far away, but it is really cool down onto the floor to see everything.
You're not being, your vision's not being blurred by the person in front of you holding their hand like up in front of your face type thing, because you're so far back, as you said. You got a decent view of the stage, not amazingly close by any means. But I don't know. I do remember seeing that and smiling, being like, all right, that's a little cool.
Yeah.
From here.
I even like looked over at you like and was like, oh my gosh, like that's a lot of phones.
Yeah. But if we were on the floor, I would be a little upset.
Yeah.
But up there, I don't know. I was like, again, just that different vantage point.
Yeah.
Being like, all right, that's cool. I like that. I said that a lot already. So.
But there was also something else that we noticed being up there is like the sound, how the sound traveled. Because I don't even know what song it was, but every single person in the entire venue was singing the song. Yeah,
I don't know if that's just how the venue. I don't think it's just how the venue set up, but it's the crowd was super fucking into it.
Yeah.
And there are parts where you're right. We couldn't hear the singer or the band. It would just be the crowd singing the song.
Yeah, which is really fucking awesome.
I love that when that happens. Like it shows like, all right, these fuckers are into this. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm liking the music, but I didn't like the music, but I loved that. That made me so happy. I really, really, really enjoyed that. Even though I wasn't enjoying the music, I was really enjoying the moment with people singing.
Right, with the crowd and everything. Yeah, yeah. I remember like hearing that, and it was just like, it just seemed so cool to hear. Like, and I don't know if it is like how the sound just filters up or like they were just singing that fucking loud, but it was really, really cool to see that whole moment.
Yeah.
And I guess we didn't really say this at the beginning. We went to the show to go to the Salt Shed.
Yes.
We did not. I know of Bad Omens. I don't think I could name. I mean, I'm looking at their set list, so I can name their songs, but I don't know their songs or their albums or anything.
Yeah, and I don't know how we got these tickets and how we found out about these tickets.
I probably saw it on Instagram.
You may have or something, or it was sort of. I don't know if Knotfest would have sent something out for this or not.
I thought of Knotfest.
They may have. I don't know, but like they
were only what,
just in a
$30.
30 really cheap, like $38. Yeah.
$38. Yeah, but we wanted to go to the Salt Shed and see a show there, so that's why we picked this show.
Yeah. But you like the music. You know the music.
Yeah, I was excited to see Bad Omens because I do like metalcore. I'm finding that I like deathcore a little bit better than metalcore, but I like the style of music. So I was like, oh, I know of Bad Omens. Like, let's go see the show, sort of thing.
I knew it was metalcore. I knew I'm not big into metalcore. There's very few metalcore bands I like.
Like Zero?
Wage War is fine. I can listen to Wage War and be perfectly fine with it. most other metalcore, I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
This is not my thing.
I think if I knew the music like I know Wage War music, this show would have been fucking amazing. Like down on the floor in the crowd, enjoying the time.
If I could go back and do it again, I would definitely want to be down in the crowd.
Yeah.
Even with that amazing view of the cell phones from that far back, and I would have gladly been down on the ground listening to it instead of up there because there was so much fucking chatter up top.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even like at one point in the middle to the end of the set, I just blurted out. I don't know why. I wasn't even thinking of doing it. I couldn't hold it in anymore. But I was like, shut the fuck up already. Like something like I just
yeah. Yeah.
And there's like a group next to us on the other side, a group next to them, like constantly fucking talking. And yes, you're in the very top, very far back. But if you want to fucking talk, go outside like we did. Like,
yeah,
go down to the little patio fucking thing out there, the fairgrounds. Like, people are still up here enjoying the show. There, people in front of us had seats that they had purchased to view the show from that seat.
Yeah.
And you're up there fucking running your goddamn mouth. And the thing is, though, for Icy Stars, there was still a lot of chatter down on the floor.
Yeah.
But I would assume for Bad Omens, there wasn't.
But that shouldn't matter. Like, your conversation can wait the 30 minutes for the opening band or even for the headliner. Like, your conversation can wait until the end. Like, everybody's excited to talk about the concert when it ends. So just
wait.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's that important.
You're right. Exactly. No, like, yeah, it's stupid. The chatter is like, oh my God, I saw them before at such and such place.
Yeah.
Or, oh my God, I love that song. Or, yeah, I really don't know them other than this song. It's like, fuck, who gives a shit? Shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
have this conversation before you get to the venue if you want to talk about that.
Or afterwards. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In any case, if I could do it again, I would be on the floor. When I blurred that out, I was like, fuck, I don't even know why I did that. Not going to change anything. These people are still going to be shitheads regardless of you say something or not. It sucks when people fucking run their mouth during the entire goddamn show.
Yeah.
But yeah, in any case, we then went down, watched a little bit down from the bar, and left a little early. Like we said, we went for the Salt Shed to see a show there. The bands were ones we were more likely to enjoy probably than other acts that have been there. Maybe there's stuff I could have found that I would have enjoyed, maybe not. But in any case,
you're a little bit more open to things than I am, so I think you probably would have found something. But for both of us to enjoy, this is probably the closest thing.
Yeah. Takeaway: the venue was fucking awesome. Bad Omens, the crowd got really fucking into it, and it would have been a blast to be down there in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely go check it out again to be in the crowd and hear the crowd sing like that. That was fucking phenomenal and awesome. That was a big takeaway for me. But yeah, the biggest for sure outside of that was the venue itself is phenomenal.
I'm glad we were able to go.
This is toward the top of my list of venues now for sure.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, go check out live music. Don't fucking talk when you're there, please.
Yep. Bye.